pals, how's it going? I'm stressed, and I'll tell you why. I've tried filming this video twice now for you guys, and today it's just not working out. So we're gonna try our best to get through this together. Right when I was about to start filming this, literally the apocalypse is happening outside. I was just about to start filming this video, and freaking tornado sirens are going off. Fortunately, the sirens have stopped, and by the apocalypse I mean tornado weather. If you're from the Midwest, you know that tornadoes are just inevitably a thing. Usually we just like to stand outside,
lounging around and enjoying the afternoon.
And if I was at home with a basement that I could eventually retreat to, then I would totally be out there right now. However, I live in an apartment now. I've never lived in an apartment complex before, so I'm not really sure what to do. Oh, that's angry weather. So I'm really not sure what to do in this kind of case. I think I've read before that you have to sit in your bathtub, but obviously you have to stay away from windows. But I'm not about to film this video in my yellow bathtub. That's right, it's yellow. So I'm not really listening to anything that you're supposed to be doing. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. So if you see my first video, welcome back to my channel. It's good to see you again. If you're new, welcome to the Graduate Speechy fan. Oh my God. Be nicer to the earth, it's so mad. So if you're new, my name is Nina. I am a graduate student at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and I am studying to be a speech-language pathologist. I like to make some good advice videos about graduate school or even just college in general, and I plan on doing some fashion videos, like a little tidbit of what that would look like today, and maybe some other stuff later on. When I first started this YouTube channel, I originally intended to do a video every week, but I think I'm going to plan on doing a video at least every month because I'm gonna be in graduate school soon. Which means I'm going to have a lot of work ahead of me, and I really want to make sure that I'm giving my all to my graduate program, but I also want to make sure that I'm giving really great advice to you. So if you want more daily look into my life, you can follow me on Instagram. It's @GraduateSpeechy. I put up new Insta stories pretty much every day, just a basic vlog. I'm telling you about how my day went. I ask you how yours went. I'll also sometimes share things like some really cool thing that I found that will save you money, or speech materials, or really anything that happens that day. So again, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's @GraduateSpeechy. Sorry for the long intro. Let's get to what we're talking about. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about all things orientation, so let's get started. Tomorrow, I start my first day of graduate school orientation. I'm not going to lie, pretty nervous. More nervous than Joshua's meeting Oprah.
And I will not meet Oprah with picked steak.
But that's totally normal, just as long as I'm prepared. How do we prepare, do you ask? On my Instagram, I did ask some graduate students and SLPs if they had any insight, since I've never been to a graduate school orientation, obviously. On the other hand, I have been to an undergraduate orientation, and I have a feeling it's not going to be the same. At least. But the preparation is probably basically the same. So for my graduate orientation, it's 3 days long, from basically 8 o'clock to 3 p.m. And that'll give me all day to panic. And I got a feeling they're gonna be throwing me some information, and it's gonna be very overwhelming. Usually in undergrad, at least at my school, Augustana College, orientation was about a week long, and it still had full days of events. So here's what you need to stay prepared, not overwhelmed, and not hangry. So luckily, my department sent me an agenda. Usually they will, just so that you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. So I downloaded that to GoodNotes, which is my digital note-taking app on my iPad, and I made this handy-dandy orientation notebook. Between last video and this video, I should be getting paid royalties for Blue's Clues. Is that how that works, or is it the other way around? Sponsor me. That says graduate school orientation notes, and this has my agenda already downloaded into it. The reason I put my agenda in my digital note-taking app was so that I could Zorro it out of my life. And I could keep up with everything that we're doing so that I know what comes next, and I have all the directions on one device so that I'm not searching through my email. What I also have following my agenda is a note-taking template. This is set up in the Cornell method that I mentioned in my last video. If you're not familiar with the Cornell method, this is what it looks like. It's sectioned off in a certain way. So up here is the title or the section of the orientation you're taking notes with. On this sidebar right here, you put in key terms, questions, or study terms. This bigger box is for your main notes for the lecture or the meeting. In this case, it'll be a meeting because you're at orientation. You're not technically learning a subject yet. And this is a summary. So you could go back, summarize everything that they talked about so you don't have to reread your notes, but it will also help you retain that information. If you're a paper person, you could do the same exact thing. This may look familiar to you from my previous video. I'm going to be bringing this with me as well, just in case I don't feel like taking digital notes that day. You can section it off like in the Cornell method just to keep all your thoughts organized. And if they end up giving you any handouts, you could put it in your folder. Also, something really, really important to bring, of course, is your planner. Doesn't matter if it's digital or paper, whichever you prefer, they're going to be throwing some dates at you. And no, I'm not talking about the fruit or vegetable. What's a date? Hey Siri, what's a date?
It's Tuesday, August 20th, 2019.
And that brings me to my next point. Come prepared with clear questions. Is a date a vegetable or fruit? To fruit. Oh no. You learn something every day. Yike. But really you should come with a list of questions, or if you don't have any questions right now, that's totally fine, because even though you have the subject of what they're going to be talking about, you're not going to really know what questions you have until they start talking about it. So I would make sure that you would have either a paper notebook or a digital notebook, somewhere where your questions and answers are editable. Write down the questions, but also write down the answers. That way, you're not contacting professors about questions they already answered. They might be a little bit more lenient during orientation, obviously, because you're all brand new and they're getting to know you and you're getting to know them. And you're also getting to know the institution and the department. So it's a lot of just new stuff. So they're going to be a little bit more lenient with your questions if you have to email them something that they already answered and you didn't quite get to write it down. But I will tell you this, pro tip, if you ask a certain question about the class that is already typed out for you in a magical document called a syllabus, they're going to give you this answer. Did you read the syllabus? They worked really hard on it. If you have a question about the class, make sure the answer's not in the syllabus first. You probably won't get your syllabi until your first day of classes, obviously. But my point is, ask clear questions and write down the answers so that you're not repeating somebody else and you're not delaying orientation. Because it's not just a long day for us, it's also a long day for the faculty. They've probably been planning this for a really long time, so they want to keep things on schedule. However, if you're still a little confused on something they've answered already, ask for clarification. And last tangible things that you should bring with you in your kind of survival kit. Ned, is that you? I wish. Come on, Ned, I need a survival guide for college. What are you doing, man? You're sleeping on us. The last tangible thing that you should bring is a snack. No, I don't mean yourself. You're not gonna be able to stay awake and alert for that long if you have no fuel to do it. Throughout the day, since it's so long for everybody, they do have scheduled breaks, at least for my orientation, and a scheduled lunch. The lunch is provided the first day, but not the second day. But since I do intermittent fasting and lunches before the time that I usually eat in the day, I'm gonna bring a snack for both days. And what I advise is don't bring anything sugary that if you eat, you're gonna crash right away, because you're gonna be like, and then you're gonna be like, is it over? Mom? So basically you need something relatively healthy or with natural sugars so that you're still awake and alert, but you're not gonna tank. Falling asleep during orientation, not the best first impression. So what I plan on bringing is just a little container of trail mix to keep in my bag in case I get hungry before they serve lunch. I'm also gonna bring my reusable water bottle so I don't have to keep getting up to find a water fountain every time that I'm thirsty. I could just reach down and take a sip really quick so that I'm not disrupting anyone either. Since it's kind of early in the morning for a lot of us, if you really do need coffee, you could bring that too. But again, I recommend finding something with a little less caffeine in it if you really do need that caffeine, because you don't want to crash, and also you don't want to increase your stress level. Oh yeah, you're gonna be stressed. I'm just telling you like it is. Or maybe you won't. Maybe you're just cool as a cucumber. It's fine. I can't be like you. I have a lot of anxiety. And I could already tell once they start throwing that information at me, I'm going to get overwhelmed. I know that about myself. But here's some things that you can do that work for me when I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. Probably the most important thing you could do when you're starting to feel overwhelmed and anxious is to breathe. You're probably saying, well, freaking duh. The reason breathing is so important is that stress is a bodily response. It's a fight or flight response. Something in your outside environment is freaking you out. And one of the SLPs, when I was talking about orientation and what it was like and what advice that I should give you, she said, stress hijacks your ability to hold in any information. So you need to combat it right away as it's happening. But you want to be discreet about it, obviously. You don't want to disrupt the day, but you also don't want to bring attention onto yourself, because that's just going to make it worse. So here's what I do. If it's during a break time, take a walk or sit somewhere in the room where you're away from everybody else for a few minutes. And what I use is this Breathe app. And what it does is if you click breathe, it'll show you a visual to do deep breathing exercises with. You might have seen this as a GIF, but it tells you when to inhale, it tells you when to hold that breath, and it tells you when to exhale. So again, you should probably use the visual of when you're away from somebody else so you don't bring attention onto you. But this is something that you could just do in your head. You don't need a visual, but I find the visual helps. So when you're stressed and you're in fight or flight mode, you have a lot of adrenaline, which increases your heart rate and your blood pressure. If you slow down your breath and you practice deep breathing and adrenaline can't coexist with one another. So these exercises will help you calm down and refocus your attention to whatever they're presenting. And once you calm down, try to reframe your perspective a little bit. And what I mean by that is you're gonna have really intrusive thoughts. They're gonna be like, look at all this stuff you have to do. You don't know where that is. Who is this person? Where do you go to talk to them? How are you gonna have time to do all of this? Stop, take deep breaths, calm down, reframe your perspective. For instance, take one of those intrusive thoughts and show who's boss by reframing your perspective. For example, if you're thinking, how am I gonna get this done? I am never gonna graduate. This is impossible. Just say, look at all the wonderful people in my profession already. It was hard for them too, but they're successful now. And if they can do it, so can I. Reframe your perspective. And of course, even though it seems like the least important piece of information going into orientation, you're always wondering, what am I going to wear? You may have a closet full of clothing, but somehow you have nothing to wear. Since we're college students, you can't be spending money all willy-nilly. If you don't have the money to go out and buy those fancy new outfits, I totally get you. Can relate on a spiritual level, but you still kind of want to look cute and trendy, or you kind of just want to switch up your outfits just a little bit. This is what I recommend. Again, since orientation is so long, you want to be comfortable. And if you get really dressed up, you're gonna be overdressed. Don't get me wrong, not like Netflix and chill comfortable. Wear clothes that you're confident in, comfortable in, and will still make a good first impression. If you're in college and you have very little money, like myself, here's how to spice up the outfits you already have with some thrifted items. Not only does it make your outfits more interesting to you, but it's better for the environment, and these are new people. They've never seen you before. They've never seen what's in your closet. So yesterday I headed over to Salvation Army, which I love, and I got a few cute and cheap items to add to my style. So again, this film is from yesterday, which is why I'm wearing something different. And before I started, I asked the manager if I could film. He said he preferred that I didn't, so I didn't want to disrupt anybody. So I got as much film as I could, but I'm not talking in any of them. Here's how it went at Salvation Army. Okay everyone, as you can see, I'm here at Salvation Army and we're gonna see what we can find. So what's really cool about Salvation Army is that you don't have to look through tags to know what the prices of the items are. Everything is a set price. They don't have detailed receipts, so I can't really tell which price is for which item. But just for an example, all jeans are $5, all purses are $2. So it's really easy to navigate, it's really easy to know how much you're spending. I only spent about $30 and I got some really good pieces. And I'll also show you some really cool pieces that are not incorporated into the outfits because they don't match, or they're for a different season, or they're just not for outfits, but I still wanted to show those to you. The first item that weren't incorporated into those outfits are these Just Fab booties. They're in such good shape and they're so cute, and I'm pretty sure they were only like $4 or $5. But again, they're just more of a fall shoe, so that's why they're not incorporated into those outfits, but such a good find. This next thing that I found was a slate jacket. It's suede, it's so soft and it's so warm, which is why I didn't incorporate into those outfits, because it still is summer, so it's gonna be too hot to wear this, but it's such a good color and it'll be such a great fall jacket. And last but not least, this is an important tip for all those college students out there. If you're shopping in a thrift store that's anywhere near your college, don't buy new school apparel at the bookstore. It's super expensive, and you're just gonna look at it through the window and cry about it and wonder why everything is so expensive. Or you're just gonna make bad financial decisions. Always look through your thrift shops, because I got a new awesome sports bra, a U of I sports bra, for $8. $8, and it's in such good condition and it's so cute. I could wear this while I'm working out, obviously, but also if I'm just, you know, it's a sweatshirt day, this is perfect. I've also gotten a few college apparel sweatshirts from thrift shops too, and they're all so reasonably priced. So it's me just editing, just realized that I forgot to introduce the whole reason I did this segment of the video. Here are the outfits that I found at Salvation Army. Enjoy. So this is the outfit for day one. I actually got this at the thrift store. I was really looking for a longer plaid skirt that would go with a kind of flowy plain top, which I already have. It's a really comfortable material. This is also really soft. This necklace I already had, but it goes nicely with the shoes I got from the thrift store. They're like a nice neutral color with gold buckles, and this chain is actually gold, and it goes along with this navy blue purse that I also got from the thrift store. So this is outfit for day number 2. In my opinion, this is probably the most comfortable outfit that I have picked out. These palazzo pants were thrifted. This bodysuit was from TJ Maxx. I've had these lace flats forever, so I don't really know where I got them from, but they're literally the most comfortable thing in the entire world, and they're pretty summery, so I love that. And for jewelry, I just have this little arrow necklace. I wanted something a little daintier. Finally, this outfit for day number 3. Day number 3 is actually my shortest day, but this is the most casual outfit, I would say. This shirt is actually American Eagle, but I did thrift it, which is incredible. It's one of their soft and sexy shirts, which I love. These are also American Eagle jeans. They're kind of a pink nude color. This kimono I got from TJ Maxx. And again, these shoes I've had forever, so I really don't know where those are from. But again, even though that this is really casual, it still makes a really good first impression. And by the way, this is, oop, you can't even see it. How do you do this? Again, this is a little dainty necklace. It's a little gold chain, and it has little beads on it. And what it is Morse code, actually, and it says choose joy. So hopefully that'll be some good motivation on the last day of orientation. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you got some good tips out of this. If you like this video and you want to see more, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell. And if you're new to my channel, make sure to check out my first ever video. If you have any ideas, comments, questions, concerns, puns, I really like puns, put them in the comments down below. Or you could come say hello on my social media. Love friendship. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Stay speechy keen, and I'll see y'all next time.